Hello and welcome to Easier Movement, Happier Horses. Today I'd like to talk to you about your limitations. That doesn't sound very polite, does it? But what I want to talk about is how when you always go to your maximum, when you always push up against your limits, you can actually be creating more limitation in your life. Okay. So in the work that I teach, which is the Feldenkrais method, it's a system of improving how you move, how you think, how you act, how you move. And one of the things we talk a lot about is this idea of doing small, slow, gentle movements, right? We're not pushing up against your limit. In my classes, I'm often reminding my students, don't go anywhere near your maximum, don't go to your limit, things like that. And the question is, well, why? What's wrong with going up against your limit? Isn't that how we improve? And I'm going to say in this case, it's not very helpful. As a matter of fact, can be quite counterproductive, because what we're doing when you're improving how you move, right? Your flexibility, your balance, your strength, your coordination, all this good stuff, you're relearning and rediscovering healthier movement. So it's like where your nervous system is deciding that it doesn't need to keep holding on to these old movement habits that are no longer serving you. And instead, you're exploring these healthier ways to move. If you simply go to your limit all the time, you're just reinforcing your old habits. It also, when you go up against your limit, not only is it reinforcing this whole idea of limitation, it's like you're telling your brain over and over, this is the end, this is the end, this is the end, right? And you're trying to rely on willpower, instead we want to rely on skill power. But what you're also doing is you're reducing your ability to feel. When we go to our maximum, we go to our limit, right, we have much less reduced feel. So we want more sensation. We want more ability to discern differences, because that's how we learn. That's how we improve. So to give you an example, because this is true for the horses as well. So to give you an example from something you probably heard about, a lot of people do carrot stretches with their horses. And that's when you hold a piece of carrot or some other treat out at various angles and your horse reaches with his or her mouth to get that carrot. And you do it in such a way that you're creating, most people are thinking of stretching different parts of the horse's body. But they're often, when I've seen it done very, very poorly many times. Now, it's not to say there's some people, of course, can do it well. They do it skillfully and they're very knowledgeable about it. But much of the time I see it done very poorly, where people are taking the horse to the feeling of limitation, right? To the end point of that stretch, for example. And what's happening is that, and I've seen this over and over, back muscles are quivering, adductor, the inside thigh muscles can be quivering, all kinds of things that most people are not aware of are happening. The horses also, all they care about is getting that treat, right? You're not paying any attention to the quality of the movement, how well distributed the effort of the movement is. Just going to the maximum, whatever that takes, that may be greatly overusing one part of the body and underusing other parts. You're not distributing that effort of the movement in a healthy way. So you could create actually quite a lot of strain and wear and tear damage over time if this is not done well. So again, that's when you go to the maximum, that can happen. Again, that's not to say that all people do carrot stretches wrong, but I've seen it over and over again. Now, if instead you broke that movement, whatever the movement is, maybe it's bending to the side with the carrot stretch, that's a common one. If you broke that down into small, tiny pieces, you can help the horse improve each piece of that movement in a healthy way. We usually do this without any food involved. And I teach this in my Move with Your Horse programs, how you can use your hands to encourage the movement in all the different parts, kind of wake up the horse's whole body And then the movement becomes easy and very pleasurable. This is important because we want to associate ease and pleasure with movement so the brain will want more of it. If you just associate like trying really hard and this feeling of limitation and having to overcome limitation, that's what will be, associated with movement. And that's not what we want, either for ourselves or for our horses. So remember that when you keep the movement in the beginning, when you're relearning how to move in an easier way, we're always, hopefully through our whole life, right? We're helping ourselves move in a healthier, more intelligent, more efficient, comfortable way, right? When you're relearning in this way, you want the movements to be small and gentle and nowhere near your maximum. Okay. Then you'll allow, once the movement gets healthier and easier, the movements will get larger and faster and all of that good stuff. You'll be more powerful just naturally because you'll be more coordinated. But especially in the beginning, we want to stay well within the range of ease and comfort. Super important, because also, that feeling of limitation is like an alarm bell for the nervous system. And so that distracts from learning. Your body starts going into more of a protection mode rather than a learning mode. So remember that. So this whole idea of like pushing the envelope and really going to your maximum, going to your limit, can really limit you. And this is true for you as well as your horse. So play with this idea of maybe smaller, more gentle movements done very intentionally, very mindfully. And it's amazing how much they can improve you. And I have a lot of I have short free videos online, on YouTube. I have my free rider masterclass, of course, that will encourage you to do the movements in a smaller, more gentle way. And then you'll see how you can effortlessly improve. There's that feeling of ease and elegance and effortlessness. And that's what we want. We want that associated with movement. Okay, not pushing, because that just reinforces our limits. So to get my free masterclass, if you haven't already, or want to do it again, which I encourage you, is marydebono.com/rider. You can also search for me on YouTube. There's some other free videos. And if you join my list, I often send out little free videos and things like that. And certainly my programs, we delve into this quite a lot. But think about that. The next time you're tempted to push to the limit for yourself or your horse, maybe ask yourself, is that really the best thing right now? Or is staying in the range of ease and comfort and curiosity more important and more powerful for producing new possibilities? Okay, rather than reinforcing our old habits or old limitations. So here's to wonderful new possibilities for you and your horse. Thank you so much for joining me here. I so appreciate it. I love sharing this info with you, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Bye for now.